as you can see, there's a little bit of a change that's been going on here. The change, the difference, is I got a PC. Or more accurately, I built a PC, which is much more impressive, I think. So what did I get? I made a little spreadsheet. All right. Here is my spreadsheet. So grand total right here, what the PC is worth is $2,300. But that is not what I paid, because I am a savvy consumer and I made good decisions. So I got about $720 in savings. I only spent $1,650-ish. How did I do that, you might ask? Through savings, deals, bundles, points, gift cards even. So for CPU, what we're running is a Ryzen 7 9850X3D. Now, I got that in a bundle deal. It was a Micro Center bundle, 9850X3D, and the motherboard, of course. The thing that made me pull the trigger more than anything, the RAM. The RAM by itself, in my opinion, is worth the bundle. So at the time, I didn't know that the 9850X3D was like a crazy processor. I didn't realize how good of a processor it was. So this is basically the bundle I got, except it wasn't the Flex or the Flare X5. It was the G-Skill RAM. It was Crucial by Micron, Crucial RAM. But still the, what's it called? It was 32 gigs. I don't know if it says it here. I'm not seeing it. I'm only seeing DDR5, but I'm not seeing how much it was. Oh, over here. 32 gigs, DDR5, Crucial RAM. I mean, I think by itself, I was looking at some the other day for DDR5. They were going for $600 even, like $599. $100 more and just get basically everything you need. Yes, please. This is a little different. Mine was, I think, $300 even savings-ish. That's what the estimate was. This one, for some reason, is a little bit more. I'm not sure. The motherboard is the same and the chip is the same. So I'm not sure what exactly changed, if this is like just significantly better. But that is the thing that I got. All right, so I got this bundle. This is, so I just put the whole price for this right here. And then I zeroed these two out because I couldn't get them to play nice with the numbers. Like I tried to take off 30% off of all three, but when I did that, it would give me a weird price of like $714. So I couldn't get it to play nicely. So I just left it like that. All right. And then the GPU. I have a sad story about the GPU. All right. Nothing bad. Don't freak out. All right. So the GPU I got from the Walmart. Okay. My local Walmart. Not many Walmarts have computer parts. Like they have PCs like pre-builts, but they don't have computer parts themselves. This was like 2 weeks before I decided to pull the trigger on a PC. All right. Like I've been wanting to build a PC and I've thought about it, but in my head I could never justify like such a big purchase if I'm not really going to use it. Because before I'd kind of given up on gaming in a sense, like retired even, like basically right when the PS5 came out. I was one of the scalpers. I was hopping on Walmart, Best Buy, everything it was dropping on, and I was able to like buy 5 of them, and then I resold them for profit, obviously, money, duh. But that was like when they first dropped. So I was able to resell them and nobody had them. So I could resell them for crazy. And I made decent money. My PS5, the one that I kept for me, it was paid for basically through the others. Like I had a free PS5. So that was cool. But up until then, like I kind of just stopped playing games. I don't know if it's like that I got older, or the games just weren't all that interesting anymore, or it was like the same old Call of Duty mindless shooter, basically brain rot for games or whatever. I don't know if that's what it was, but I kind of just stopped playing, you know? I did have a mindset for a long time. Nobody fight me on this, but my opinion, my personal thought, right? I have dreams to be like a business owner, to start a company of some sort, to, you know, make my own money, help somebody somehow, like make money through a business that I own, right? Hire and fire people and just like build a company essentially. And for a long time, I was in the mindset that if I wasn't doing something towards that, like working towards a goal like that, that it was a waste of time. And that was really unhealthy. I cut off a lot of the things that I enjoyed, such as gaming, such as fishing. I really enjoyed fishing, but I for some reason accepted this mindset that if it's not progress, it's taking a step back. If it's not progressing forward, it's dragging me behind. And that was really unhealthy. That was not good. Basically everything I enjoyed at one point, I killed off. It was just not the good thing to do anymore. Because I mean, that was part of it. Yeah, I just stopped gaming, and I couldn't justify making a different gaming purchase essentially for something that I wasn't exactly sure that I was going to keep on doing, you know? But then I decided to get back into it. I decided I was going to game a little bit more, let myself enjoy it, change that mindset. That's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be progress forward, but if it's progress in the sense that it eases my mind, or it relaxes me, or it's some kind of a leisure, you know, that's still progress. That's still good. And it's still something I'm working with. So we're working on, rather. And I think I am in a much healthier spot now because of that mindset shift back to not this toxic work kind of mentality. But yeah, back to the GPU. Now, this is before, right? 2 weeks, again, broken record. 2 weeks before I decided I was going to pull the trigger on this PC build, I went to Walmart just to look at the PC parts, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a couple years now. I just couldn't justify it, didn't think it was, like the right thing to do, and I just went window shopping. So I go to the Walmart, go to the back, to the electronics, go to the PC parts, and sitting there is 5060. I don't remember if there was a TI, 5070 by PNY, and I think it was an MSI 5070 Ti. For those who don't know, it's the step above the 5070. And it's not a crazy step, but it's a significant and noticeable step. And I saw it there next to the 5070, the PNY, for $750. And I thought about it. I saw it there and thought about it. I was like, dang, I don't really know what the prices are. I think that's a pretty good price. So I saw it there and I was just like, okay, I haven't decided that I want to build anything just yet. So, I'm not going to pull the trigger. I should have pulled the trigger because 2 weeks later, I decided I was going to build a PC. And those 2 weeks later, I decided I wanted a 5070 Ti for $750. And it was that same 2 week later that I discovered you cannot find them anymore for less than $1,000. So I fumbled. I fumbled hard. And I was sad. But I tried, I went to the Walmart and I asked the lady, I'm like, yo, do you guys have more of this in the back or anything? Like, obviously I didn't want to be that guy. You can get Resident Evil with that? That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I didn't want to be that guy. So I was like, hey, like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but is there any chance you have some more of this in the back? She takes out her phone, she scans the little barcode, the little QR thing. She's like, yeah, no, we've been out of that one for a while. Maybe you could try the Walmart. It's like an hour away. I'm not gonna say the city because it's gonna get me doxxed. Even though you can see Westmont on the screen right now. However, I go make the trip an hour away to this Walmart, and they don't even have PC parts in their electronics section. I was annoyed, to say the least. But I was an hour away, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Micro Center anyway. So I went to Micro Center. That's where I got the bundle. And while I was there getting the bundle, I was talking to the dude, the Micro Center dude, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking for that 5070 Ti that was $750. And he says, oh, yeah, that's not going to happen again. And I was like, well, what do you mean? That's never going to happen again. That's what I'm looking for. And he says, yeah, that's never going to happen again unless the world changes. I was like, well, that's interesting. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like it'll happen anytime soon. But yeah, the Micro Center dude, he said, yeah, that's never gonna happen again, because that was a true, I don't know if he said true, but he said that was like a developer card, like a genuine developer card or something. Yeah, they don't have the TIs. They don't even have the one that I got, which was the regular 5070 by PNY for $550, which I thought was pretty good, considering that I'm looking at some, and they're going for, I'll show you, they're going for, I'm trying not to dox me, they're going for right here, 750, 700, 12 gigs of RAM, yeah, or VRAM. I have the 12 gig RAM, 12 gigs of the VRAM. Long story short, that is my GPU. Now the storage, we'll go on to the storage. So storage was interesting. I mean, not super interesting. Samsung 990 Pro is pretty good. 2 terabytes. New is $320 off of the Amazons. I found it on Marketplace. For, as you can see, $180 from a guy who had me drive an hour away to meet him, which for more than 50% off, which for less than 50% off, I think that's pretty good. And now the cooling. I was looking at air cooling originally because I, for a long time, didn't think liquid cooling was all that different. But after looking at benchmarks, after looking at graphs, after looking at a ton of results, because I did do a good amount of research before I decided on what I was getting for everything, except the bundle, because the bundle, it was only available for a couple days. I had to jump on it, you know what I mean? I think I saw it on a Friday, and I decided to pull the trigger on a Monday. So, and I deliberately wanted, it's right here, the Nautilus 360. I specifically wanted the 360 because I wanted the extra length in radiator. And it wasn't all that much, really, when you think about it. I wanted the extra length in radiator. And then because I saw the graphs and the results, the benchmarks between liquid and air, I saw a fairly significant difference between liquid and air. And I wanted to get a liquid then because of that. but some liquids are kind of crazy. And I didn't feel like, you know, cutting out my kidney and selling it to get one of these. So the Nautilus 360 was pretty good. I think it did really good. I think it placed in the graphs that I saw, right? For liquid coolers, I saw it placed, I think, 3rd or 4th. Top 3 were above, I think, $300 for just a cooler. So I was like, yeah, absolutely not. And then as far as gamer lights go, so I didn't really want to do any gamer lights because, anyway, I didn't want the gamer lights. I felt they looked tacky, especially when done incorrectly. And I just wanted a stealth machine more than anything. The only gamer light in there is from the SSD. It's got a red light on it when it's working, and that's it. And I'm fine with that. The PSU, also got that one off of the Amazons. And the reason that was only $30 is because I ordered them together and I had gift cards from my birthday. That is what I got with my gift cards. Now, the case. The case, in my opinion, is beautiful. I got the Fractal North with the glass side, the Fractal Design North glass side with the wood on the front. It looks so good. Got the gold accent buttons, gold accents on the feet. It's just, I think all around it just looks so good. It has a little leather band on the side. This top piece right there at the back has a little leather band. Right there, I guess you can kind of see his little leather band. But yeah, I'm really happy with this case. It looks so good overall. I mean, fans, I got some random old Amazon fans from Arctic Air, maybe, something like that. They're good though, they're quiet. I specifically wanted to go with the 40 or the 140 millimeters because I wanted them to like not have to run as hard and still be silent, still be quiet, you know? Funny thing, right? So total, it has, oh, not that side. So I put in originally 5 fans. It was 3, I guess right here. 3 right here. 3 right here in front for the radiator, right? In front of the radiator. And then 2 up top that came with the case. Oh, they're right there. These two I just moved up top for exhaust. And yeah, I just had 5 fans originally. I wanted more fans. Plus, as you can see from the picture, I had bought fans already. And they were just sitting there, just sitting around. I was like, I want to use them. I have to use them. So what I did, I put 2 140 millimeter fans over here also in front of the radiator, blowing past the radiator, and then it had the 3 behind the radiator sucking from the radiator or past the radiator. So I had 5 fans just on the radiator itself now. I think it's been running great so far. My CPU has not touched the 60s, I don't think, 60 degrees Celsius. Also, it's kind of a crazy CPU. Oh yeah, as I was saying, I didn't even realize it is not only the newest CPU that AMD has released, but also the most powerful CPU in the AMD Ryzen's. Because the Threadripper, whole other monster over there. Not even gonna touch that one, I don't compare. Mine does not compare to any Threadripper, right? But as far as like the Ryzen numerical series, right? With the they start at 3, right? Or 5. The 5, 7, 9. It's mine. I didn't even realize is more powerful than the 9s. That's crazy. I saw this post on Facebook. It was like a graph showing like chip performance to price ratio, right? With the 9s over here on the most expensive side, but not as high on like the what's it called, like the performance section, the performance wise. So they're all the way maxed out for price, but they're like lower, like in the middle-ish somewhere for performance. While mine, the Ryzen 7 9850X3D, is closer to the middle for price, right? It's like a little bit closer to the more expensive side, but it's still like relatively well in the middle. And at the very top of performance, meaning it was used as the benchmark for this graph, for this comparison. It's wild to me. It's crazy. So, because I have a pretty powerful CPU, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just gonna like burn itself out. So that's also why I went with liquid cooling as opposed to air, and 5 fans on just the radiator itself as opposed to just the 3. And the radiator had 120 millimeter fans, 3 of them, and I put 2 140s in front of it. Cool. We're up to speed, right? Okay. So now 5 fans here in front, 2 up top, and then here in the backside, right here. Oh, I can zoom. That's crazy. In the backside, we can fit a 120 millimeter fan to work as another exhaust, right? And then the PSU has a fan, but we're not counting that. Again, I didn't feel like buying a 120 millimeter fan, one 120 millimeter fan, just for this exhaust piece here. And what I noticed was that just barely a 140 millimeter fan could fit in between this edge of the case and the IO block, if you'll call it a block, of the motherboard. I think you can see what I did. So what I did was just that. I took the 140 millimeter fan. I couldn't bolt it. I couldn't use the screws that it came with to, screw it into the case. So I let me see if I can. Let me see. I don't want to. I'll show you what I did. I did essentially. I used the wire ties that came with the wires, aka the bread ties, to tie them to the case. I used 3 of them, one in this corner, one in this corner, one in this corner. And then for the most part, it was held up by the weight on this ledge. So this ledge was holding it up, and then the ties were just holding it up against the actual frame. And she does not rattle. She does not make a sound. She quiet. She right back there. She working hard. Barely. Anyway. So yeah. That is what I did. That is the fan. That is the PC build.